Lisa Martinez pulled the thin blanket tighter around her daughter's small body. The cold metal floor of their shelter made everything worse. Amy was only 8 years old, but she had learned not to cry about being hungry anymore. That worried Lisa more than the crying ever had. Outside their makeshift home, the wind howled across New Haven Colony. 3 years ago, this place had been full of hope. Families had come here to start new lives. Children had played in green parks while their parents worked to build something better. Now the parks were covered in ice and most of the families were gone. Lisa looked at Amy's feet. They were blue again. The color scared her every time she saw it. She rubbed them gently, trying to bring back some warmth. Amy's little toes felt like ice cubes in her hands. "Mama, are we going to eat today?" Amy asked. Her voice was so quiet that Lisa almost missed the words. "I don't know, baby," Lisa said. She hated being honest about it, but lies would not help them now. The food place is still empty. The colony's food center had been bare for 2 weeks. Before that, there had been one meal every few days. Before that, one meal each day. Lisa could remember when there had been 3 meals a day plus snacks. Those days felt like a dream now. Lisa stood up and walked to their small window. She could see the alien trading post from here. It was the only building in the colony that still had lights on all the time. Smoke came from its chimney every day. The beings inside were never cold, never hungry. The Cathara had arrived 6 months after the terraforming machines broke down. They said they wanted to help. They brought some food and medicine to trade, but their prices were always too high. Most people could not afford what the aliens wanted in return. Lisa had watched her neighbors disappear one by one. Some families left on transport ships using their last money to get away. Others went into the alien trading post and never came back out. A few just stopped coming out of their shelters altogether. She and Amy were some of the last humans left on New Haven. Maybe 20 people remained in the whole colony. They looked out for each other when they could, but everyone was fighting just to stay alive. Lisa heard Amy cough behind her. It was getting worse each day. The cold was making her sick, and sick children needed medicine. Medicine cost money. Money they did not have. She thought about her husband, Jake. He had died in the machine accident that started all their troubles. Jake had been trying to fix the terraforming system when it exploded. The colony leaders said it was just bad luck. But Jake had been the best engineer they had. He did not make mistakes with machines. Before he died, Jake had told her strange things. He said some of the other engineers were acting weird. He said someone was changing things in the computer systems. He said it felt like someone wanted the terraforming to fail. Lisa had thought he was just tired and worried. Now she wondered if he had been right. Amy coughed again, harder this time. Lisa went back to her and felt her forehead. It was getting warm. Fever was starting. Lisa knew what she had to do. She had known for days, but she kept hoping something else would happen. Maybe a rescue ship would come. Maybe they would find food somewhere else. Maybe Amy would get better on her own. But hope was not keeping Amy alive. Hope was not making her feet warm or her belly full. Lisa had heard the stories about what the Cathara wanted from humans. Everyone in the colony knew, but no one talked about it out loud. The aliens were interested in human bodies in ways that made people uncomfortable. They paid well for certain kinds of company. She looked at Amy again. Her daughter's lips were turning pale. Her breathing sounded rough. Without food and medicine, soon Amy would die. Lisa was sure of it. The choice was simple, even if it was horrible. Lisa could give the aliens what they wanted for one night. In return, she could get Amy food and medicine. One warm meal, something to make her better. It was not much, but it might keep Amy alive long enough for help to come. Lisa had never done anything like this before. She had been married to Jake since she was 20. He was the only man she had ever been with. The thought of being with someone else, especially an alien, made her feel sick. But the thought of watching Amy die made her feel worse. She kissed Amy's forehead and whispered, "I'll be back soon, baby. Try to sleep." Amy's eyes were already closing. She was too tired and sick to ask where Lisa was going. Lisa put on her warmest coat and stepped outside. The wind hit her face like a slap. Snow was falling again, adding to the piles that already covered everything. Her breath made white clouds in the air. The walk to the trading post took 10 minutes. With each step, Lisa felt more scared and more determined at the same time. She was about to do something that would change her forever, but if it saved Amy, it would be worth it. The trading post was the only warm, bright place left in the colony. As Lisa got closer, she could see alien shapes moving around inside. Soon she would be inside with them. Soon she would find out what it cost to keep her daughter alive. Lisa stood in front of the trading post door for a long time. Her hand shook as she reached for the handle. The metal was warm to touch, which surprised her. Everything else in the colony was freezing cold. The door opened before she could knock. A tall alien stood there looking down at her. This was Veltar, the Kethara who ran the trading post. He had blue-gray skin and 4 arms. His eyes were completely black with no white parts at all. When he smiled, Lisa could see too many teeth. Lisa Martinez, Veltar said. His voice sounded like rocks grinding together. I have been wondering when you would come to see me. Lisa felt her stomach drop.
He knew her name.
He had been expecting her. How do you know who I am? I know everyone in this colony, Veltar said. I know you have a sick daughter. I know you have no money. I know you are desperate. He stepped aside and waved her in with one of his 4 hands. Please come inside where it is warm. The inside of the trading post was like stepping into a different world. It was so warm that Lisa started sweating right away. Bright lights hung from the ceiling. She could smell food cooking somewhere in the back. Her stomach made a loud noise, reminding her that she had not eaten in 2 days. The main room was full of things for sale. There were boxes of food, warm clothes, medicine, and tools. Everything the colonists needed to survive. All of it was right here, but the prices were too high for anyone to buy. Sit down, Veltar said, pointing to a soft chair near a heater. You look cold and tired. Lisa sat down carefully. The chair was more comfortable than anything she had touched in months. The warmth from the heater made her want to fall asleep right there. Veltar sat across from her in a larger chair. He studied her with those black eyes. So what brings you to my establishment tonight, Lisa Martinez? Lisa took a deep breath. My daughter is sick. She needs food and medicine. I know what you want from humans. I know what you pay for it. I want to make a deal. Veltar's smile got bigger. Straight to business. I like that about humans. Very practical. He leaned back in his chair. 1 night with you in exchange for food and medicine for your daughter. Is that correct? Yes, Lisa said. The word came out like a whisper. Interesting, Veltar said. Most humans wait much longer before they come to me. They try everything else first. You are being smart about this. Lisa did not feel smart. She felt sick and scared. But she also felt determined. Do we have a deal or not? Oh yes, we have a deal, Veltar said. He stood up and walked to a shelf full of medicine bottles. I have everything your daughter needs right here. Pain medicine, fever medicine, vitamins, even some antibiotics I saved for special customers. He picked up a small bag and started putting medicine bottles inside. Then he walked to the food section and added canned soup, bread, dried fruit, and something that looked like chocolate bars. This should keep your daughter healthy for at least 2 weeks, Veltar said, holding up the bag. Maybe longer if you're careful with it. Lisa stared at the bag. 2 weeks of life for Amy, maybe more. All for 1 night of her own life. It seemed like a fair trade. There is just one thing, Veltar said. I need to prepare a few things first. It will take maybe an hour. Would you like to wait here? You can eat something if you want, Lisa nodded. She was too nervous to eat, but she did not want to go back outside into the cold. Veltar disappeared into the back room. Lisa could hear him moving around, talking to someone in his own language. She did not know the Kethara had more than 1 person working here. While she waited, Lisa looked around the trading post more carefully. Everything seemed normal at first, but then she started noticing strange things. There was a computer terminal in the corner that looked human-made. The screen showed numbers and graphs that looked familiar. They reminded her of the displays Jake used to show her from his engineering work. Lisa got up and walked closer to the computer. She could see data about temperature, power usage, and system status. This was definitely human technology. But why would aliens have human computers in their trading post? She looked at other things around the room. A toolbox in the corner had New Haven Engineering Dept printed on the side. Some of the lights hanging from the ceiling had human writing on them. Even the heater she had been sitting next to had a label that said Made on Earth. This was not just human technology. This was technology from New Haven Colony. But how did the aliens get it? And why did they need it? Lisa heard voices from the back room getting louder. She could understand some of the words now. They were speaking English mixed with their alien language. The humans are almost finished, one voice said. Maybe 1 more month and they will all be gone or under our control. Good, said another voice. That was Veltar. The plan is working perfectly. Soon we will have this whole planet to ourselves and plenty of human slaves to work for us. Lisa felt cold, even in the warm room. Plan? What plan? The aliens had not just found the colony after it failed. They had planned for it to fail. She moved closer to the back room, trying to hear more. There was a crack in the door that let her see inside. Veltar was there with 3 other Cathara. They were looking at a big map of the colony. The terraforming sabotage worked better than we hoped, one of them said. The humans still think it was an accident. Jake Martinez almost figured it out, Veltar said. Good thing we took care of him when we did. Lisa's heart stopped. Jake had been right. Someone had sabotaged the terraforming system, and they had killed him for getting too close to the truth. She backed away from the door as quietly as she could. Her mind was racing. The aliens had destroyed her home, killed her husband, and now they were waiting for the last humans to die or become slaves. But Jake had been smart. If he had figured out what was happening, maybe he had left something behind to help fight back. Maybe there was still hope. Veltar came back into the main room. Sorry for the wait, he said. Everything is ready now. Lisa looked at him differently now. This was not just a traitor taking advantage of desperate people. This was an enemy who had planned everything that happened to her family, but she still needed the medicine for Amy. And now she needed something else too. She needed to learn more about what the aliens were really doing. I'm ready, Lisa said. Veltar led Lisa to a room in the back of the trading post. The room was warm and had a large bed with soft covers. There were candles burning on tables around the room. Under different circumstances, it might have seemed romantic. Now it just felt like a prison. Make yourself comfortable, Veltar said. I will return in a few minutes. Lisa sat on the edge of the bed and tried to stay calm. She kept thinking about what she had heard the aliens saying. They had killed Jake. They had destroyed the colony on purpose. They were planning to enslave or kill everyone who was left. She looked around the room for anything that might help her. There were more human-made items here too. A lamp from someone's home. A picture frame that used to belong to the Miller family. These aliens were taking everything from the dead colony piece by piece. Veltar came back carrying a bottle of wine. This will help you relax, he said, pouring 2 glasses. Lisa took the glass but did not drink from it. She needed to stay alert. Can I ask you something? Of course, Veltar said, sitting down next to her. How long have you been on New Haven? Lisa asked. Veltar smiled. We arrived about 6 months ago, right after your terraforming system failed. Very lucky timing for us. Lucky, Lisa repeated. Or planned? Veltar's smile disappeared for a second, then came back. What an interesting thing to say. Why would you think it was planned? Lisa decided to take a risk. Because my husband was an engineer. He told me someone was messing with the machines before they broke. Your husband? Veltar said slowly. Jake Martinez. Yes, I remember him. Very smart man. Too smart for his own good. You killed him, Lisa said. Veltar did not try to deny it. He was getting too close to understanding what was really happening. We could not let him warn the other colonists. Lisa felt anger burning in her chest, but she tried to keep her voice steady. So you sabotaged the terraforming system. You made our planet cold and dead on purpose, not just us, Veltar said. He seemed proud to talk about it. The Cathara Empire has been doing this for decades. We find human colonies that are far from Earth. We break their systems. We wait for them to get desperate. Then we take what we want. What do you want? Lisa asked. Workers, Veltar said. Human slaves are very valuable. You are strong. You learn quickly and you do not give up easily. Perfect for dangerous work in our mines and factories. Lisa thought about Amy sleeping back in their cold shelter. What about the children? Children are even more valuable, Veltar said. We can train them from a young age. They forget about being human and learn to serve us properly. Lisa wanted to hit him, but she forced herself to stay calm. How many colonies have you done this to? New Haven will be our 15th successful operation, Veltar said. He was clearly enjoying telling her about it. We have over 3,000 human slaves working for us now. Soon we will have 3,020 more. That was how many people had lived in New Haven Colony when Lisa and Jake first arrived. 3,020 humans, including Amy, all of them marked for slavery or death. Veltar moved closer to her on the bed. Enough talking, he said. We have business to finish. Lisa let him touch her, but her mind was racing. She needed to find a way to fight back. Jake had been trying to warn people before he died. Maybe he had left something behind that could help. As Veltar continued, Lisa asked more questions. She tried to sound like she was just curious, not like she was gathering information. "How do you control the weather on our planet?" she asked. "Weather control satellites," Veltar said. "We hacked into your orbital systems months ago. We can make it as cold as we want, whenever we want." "What about the food supply problems?" "We have been stopping your supply ships from reaching the planet," Veltar said. "Any ship that tries to land here gets turned away by our patrol vessels." Lisa learned more and more as the night went on. The Cathara had been planning this for over a year. They had studied the colony's defenses, its computer systems, and its people. They knew exactly how to break everything down piece by piece. But they had made one mistake. They thought all the smart humans were dead or gone. They did not know that Jake had been preparing for something like this. Jake had always been paranoid about computer security. At home, he had shown Lisa hidden files and backup systems that only he knew about. He had taught her emergency codes and secret passwords. At the time, she thought he was being too careful. Now she realized he had been preparing for war. When Veltar finally fell asleep, Lisa carefully got out of bed. She found her clothes and got dressed as quietly as she could. Then she started looking around the room more carefully. There was a computer terminal in the corner that the aliens used to monitor the colony. Lisa turned it on and started typing in the codes Jake had taught her. The first few codes did not work. But then she tried Jake's personal emergency code, the one he had made her memorize in case something happened to him. The screen changed. Suddenly, she was looking at a hidden network that connected to systems all over the colony. Jake had built secret backdoors into every major system before the aliens sabotaged them. Lisa could see power grids, communication networks, and even some defense systems that were still working but hidden from the aliens. Jake had prepared for this exact situation. There were files with names like Resistance Protocol and Emergency Uprising Plan. Jake had not just suspected that enemies might attack the colony. He had created a way to fight back. Lisa started downloading everything to a small memory chip she found in Jake's tool bag. The aliens had brought all of his engineering equipment to the trading post. They had no idea what they had given her access to. As she worked, she found something else that made her heart race. Jake had left her a message. It was hidden in the deepest part of the system, encrypted with their wedding date. "Lisa," the message said, "if you are reading this, then I am probably dead and the colony is in trouble. I have prepared weapons and tools to fight back. Use the emergency networks to contact the other survivors.
Tell them about Project Phoenix.
The sleeping giant is ready to wake up. Project Phoenix." Lisa had never heard Jake mention it, but there were files about it in the hidden system. It was a plan to use the colony's own infrastructure as a weapon against invaders. The terraforming machines that the aliens had sabotaged could be turned into something else. The power grid could be weaponized. Even the weather control satellites could be hacked and used against the Cathara ships. But it would take more than just Lisa to make it work. She needed to find the other survivors and convince them to fight. She needed to turn desperate, scared people into rebels. Lisa finished downloading the files and turned off the computer. Veltar was still sleeping. She picked up the bag of food and medicine he had promised her and quietly left the room. Outside, the colony looked the same as always. Dark, cold, and dead. But now Lisa knew it was not really dead. It was just sleeping, waiting for someone to wake it up. She had gotten what she came for, medicine for Amy, and something much more valuable. She had gotten hope, and she had gotten a plan for revenge. Lisa hurried back to her shelter through the dark streets. Snow was still falling, but she barely felt the cold now. Her mind was focused on everything she had learned and everything she needed to do. Amy was still sleeping when Lisa got home. Her daughter's breathing sounded better already, just from being in the warmer air of the trading post for a few hours. Lisa gave her the fever medicine and watched Amy swallow it without waking up completely. Lisa sat down with the memory chip and started going through Jake's files on her old tablet. The information was incredible. Jake had not just suspected the aliens might come. He had prepared for a full war. The first file was a list of all the survivors left in the colony. 23 people total, including her and Amy. Jake had been tracking who was still alive right up until the day he died. Next to each name, he had written notes about their skills and personality. Ben Carter, former military, good with weapons, stubborn but loyal. Kate Wilson, Doctor, smart, wants to help people. Sam Foster, communications expert, young but clever. Mary Clark, teacher, good at organizing people, very brave. The list went on. These were not just random survivors. These were people Jake thought could fight back if they had to. The second file was even more interesting. It was a map of hidden equipment caches around the colony. Jake had been secretly storing weapons, tools, and supplies in dozens of locations. Most of them were in places the aliens would never think to look. The third file made Lisa's heart beat faster. It was the technical details for Project Phoenix. Jake had figured out how to turn the broken terraforming system into a massive weapon, but it needed at least 6 people working together to activate it. Lisa looked outside. It was almost morning. She needed to start contacting the other survivors, but she had to be careful. If the aliens found out what she was doing, they would kill everyone. She started with Ben Carter. His shelter was only 2 blocks away, in the basement of what used to be a restaurant. Lisa had seen him around the colony but had never talked to him much. According to Jake's notes, Ben had been a soldier before coming to New Haven. Lisa knocked on Ben's door using the special pattern Jake had written down. 3 quick knocks, pause, 2 more knocks. It was supposed to be a signal that meant emergency resistance meeting. Ben opened the door with a gun in his hand. He was a big man with gray hair and scars on his face. He looked at Lisa suspiciously. "What do you want?" Ben asked. "Jake Martinez sent me," Lisa said. Ben's expression changed completely. "Jake's been dead for months. He left instructions," Lisa said, "for Project Phoenix." Ben stared at her for a long moment, then stepped aside to let her in. His shelter was better organized than most. He had military equipment and maps on the walls. "Jake talked to me about Phoenix before he died," Ben said, "but he said it wasn't ready yet." "It's ready now," Lisa said. She showed him the memory chip. "I got this information from the alien trading post last night." Ben raised an eyebrow. "You were in the trading post? How did you get in there?" Lisa told him everything. About Amy's sickness, about making the deal with Veltar, about overhearing the alien plans, and about finding Jake's hidden network. When she finished, Ben was quiet for a long time. Then he smiled, and it was not a nice smile. "Those alien bastards killed a lot of good people. I've been waiting for a chance to kill them back." "It's not just about revenge," Lisa said. "They're planning to enslave everyone who's left, including the children." "Then we stop them," Ben said. "What do you need me to do?" Lisa showed him Jake's list of survivors. "We need to contact everyone on this list tonight. We need to get them all together for a meeting." "That's dangerous," Ben said. "If the aliens see too many people in one place, they'll get suspicious." "Jake thought of that too," Lisa said. She showed him another file. "There's an old maintenance tunnel that connects to most of the buildings in the colony. We can use it to move around without being seen." Ben studied the tunnel maps. "This could work. But we need to be smart about it. Some of these people might not want to fight. They might even turn us into the aliens." "Jake's notes say who we can trust," Lisa said. "He was watching everyone for months before he died." They spent the morning planning. Ben knew where most of the survivors were living. Lisa had the technical information about Jake's hidden systems. Together, they figured out how to contact everyone safely. The first person they approached was Kate Wilson, the doctor. She was living in the old medical center, trying to take care of sick colonists with almost no supplies. When Lisa showed her the medicine from the alien trading post, Kate's eyes went wide. "Where did you get this?" Kate asked. Lisa told her the story again. Kate listened carefully, asking smart questions about the aliens' plans and Jake's countermeasures. "So Jake knew this was going to happen," Kate said when Lisa finished. "He was trying to prepare us." "Yes," Lisa said, "but he needed people he could trust to make it work. He needed you." Kate looked at the medicine again. "The aliens have been letting people die when they could have saved them. They've been watching us suffer on purpose." "And they killed Jake when he got too close to the truth," Ben added. Kate's jaw tightened. What do you need me to do? By afternoon, they had contacted 8 more people. Sam Foster was excited about the chance to use his communication skills. Mary Clark was angry about what the aliens had done to the children in the colony. Others had their own reasons for wanting to fight back, but not everyone wanted to join them. 2 people were too scared. One man said he would rather take his chances with the aliens than risk fighting them. Lisa was disappointed, but Jake's notes had predicted this would happen. That evening, 12 survivors met in the maintenance tunnels beneath the colony. Lisa brought Amy with her, wrapped in warm blankets and feeling much better after a day of medicine and real food. Lisa stood in front of the group and told them everything she had learned, about the alien conspiracy, about Jake's preparations, and about Project Phoenix. "They think we're broken," Lisa said. "They think we're too weak and scared to fight back. They think humans give up when things get hard." "They're wrong," Ben said. "Humans don't give up. We get mad. And when humans get mad, we get dangerous." Mary Clark raised her hand. "What exactly are we planning to do?" Lisa activated her tablet and showed them Jake's plans. "We're going to take back our planet. We're going to turn their own weapons against them. And we're going to make sure the whole galaxy knows what they did here." The plan was complex, but it was possible. They would use Jake's hidden networks to coordinate attacks on the alien systems. They would take control of the terraforming machines and turn them into weapons. They would hack the weather satellites and use them against the alien ships. But first, they needed to get everyone to safety. The aliens would fight back hard once they realized what was happening. "There's one more thing," Lisa said. "Jake's files show that a Cathara fleet is coming to collect their new slaves. They'll be here in 3 days. The group was quiet. 3 days to save their colony and expose the alien plot. "So we don't have time to be scared," Sam Foster said. "We have time to be heroes." Amy tugged on Lisa's sleeve. "Mama, are we going to win?" Lisa looked at her daughter, then at the other survivors. They were tired, hungry, and outnumbered, but they were also angry, determined, and ready to fight for their freedom. "Yes, baby," Lisa said, "we're going to win." The next 3 days passed like a blur. The survivors worked day and night to prepare for the alien fleet's arrival. They moved through the maintenance tunnels, gathering equipment from Jake's hidden caches and setting up their positions. Lisa had become the leader of their small rebellion, even though she had never wanted to be in charge of anything. But the others looked to her for guidance, and she found strength she did not know she had. Amy helped too, carrying messages between different groups and watching for alien patrols. Her small size made her perfect for crawling through the narrow tunnel sections that adults could not fit through. On the morning of the 3rd day, Sam Foster ran into their command center in the old power station. "They're here," he said, breathing hard. 6 ships just entered the atmosphere. Big ones. Lisa looked at the computer screens showing Jake's hidden sensor network. The Cathara fleet was landing at the spaceport on the other side of the colony. Hundreds of alien soldiers were getting ready to round up the remaining humans. "Are we ready?" Lisa asked Ben. Ben checked his weapons one more time. "As ready as we'll ever be." Lisa activated the communication system that connected all the survivor teams. "This is Lisa. Project Phoenix starts now. Everyone remember the plan. We only get one chance at this." The plan had 3 parts. First, they would take control of the terraforming machines and turn them into weapons. Second, they would hack the weather satellites to attack the alien ships. Third, they would broadcast their story to the galaxy so everyone would know what the Cathara had done. Kate Wilson was at the medical center with a team of 3 people. Their job was to activate the atmospheric processors and turn them into giant heat rays. If it worked, they could melt the alien ships from the inside out. Mary Clark was at the communication center with Sam Foster. They would take control of the satellite network and hack into the alien ship computers. Then they would broadcast evidence of the Cathara conspiracy to every human colony in known space. Ben Carter was leading the military team. They would attack the alien ground forces and keep them busy while the other teams completed their missions. Lisa was staying at the power station with Amy and 2 other survivors. Her job was to coordinate everything and make sure the different parts of the plan worked together. "Team 1, report," Lisa said into her radio. "This is Kate. We're in position at the atmospheric processors." Jake's access codes worked perfectly. We have control of the terraforming system. Team 2 report. This is Mary. We're connected to the satellite network. Sam is working on hacking the alien ship systems now. Team 3 report. This is Ben. We can see the alien soldiers moving toward the residential area. They're looking for survivors to capture. We're ready to give them a surprise. Lisa looked at Amy, who was watching the computer screens with intense concentration. You ready for this, baby? Amy nodded. Let's show them what humans can do. Lisa activated Jake's master control program. Project Phoenix is go. All teams execute. The first sign that something was wrong came from the alien trading post. Veltar's voice crackled over the radio frequency Lisa had been monitoring. He was shouting in his own language, but she could hear panic in his voice. On the computer screens, Lisa watched the terraforming machines power up for the first time in 3 years. But instead of making the air warmer and more breathable, they were focusing all their energy into concentrated beams of heat. The beams shot up into the sky, targeting the Kithara ships hanging in the atmosphere. The alien vessels had shields, but they were not designed to handle that much concentrated thermal energy. Team 1, excellent work, Lisa said. Keep those heat rays focused on the ship engines. At the same time, Mary and Sam were having success with the satellite hack. They had broken into the alien ship computers and were downloading files that proved the Kithara conspiracy. They were also taking control of the weather control satellites. Team 2, we're in. Mary's voice came over the radio. Sam has access to their whole database. We're copying everything, and the weather satellites are ours now. Use them, Lisa said. Hit those ships with everything we've got. The weather satellites began creating massive electrical storms directly above the alien fleet. Lightning bolts as thick as trees struck the ships over and over. The Kethara shields were starting to fail under the combined assault of heat rays and lightning. But the ground battle was getting harder. Ben's team was fighting alien soldiers throughout the colony, and the aliens had better weapons and more training. Team 3, we need an update, Lisa said. We're holding them off, Ben replied, but barely. There are too many of them. We need those ships to stop sending reinforcements. Lisa looked at the screen showing the space battle. 2 of the alien ships were already damaged and retreating, but the other 4 were still operational, and they were landing more soldiers. Amy, Lisa said, I need you to do something very important. Can you access the emergency power grid? Amy's fingers flew over the keyboard. She had been watching her mother work with Jake's systems for days, and she learned fast. I've got it, Mama. Good. Now route all the colony's remaining power to the terraforming array. Everything we have left. But that will shut down life support in most of the buildings, Amy said. The buildings are mostly empty anyway, Lisa said. And if this doesn't work, life support won't matter. Amy entered the commands. All across the colony, lights went out and heaters shut down. But the terraforming machines began glowing brighter than they ever had before. The heat rays intensified dramatically. One of the alien ships exploded in the sky, raining burning metal down on the spaceport. A second ship was forced to make an emergency landing, its engines completely melted. Team 2, how are we doing with the broadcast? Lisa asked. We're transmitting now. Sam's excited voice came back. The whole galaxy is going to see what these aliens did. We're sending the evidence to every human colony, every news network, every government office we can reach. Lisa smiled. Even if they did not survive this battle, the truth would get out. Other colonies would be warned. The Kithara would not be able to repeat their plan, but she still wanted to survive. She wanted Amy to grow up free on a world that was safe and warm again. All teams, final push, Lisa said. Let's finish this. The weather satellites created one last massive storm. Lightning struck the remaining alien ships while the heat rays focused on their weakest points. One by one, the ships either exploded or crashed to the ground. The alien ground forces, seeing their fleet destroyed, began to retreat. But Ben's team was ready for them. They had set up ambushes at all the exit points from the colony. Very few aliens would make it back to space to report what happened. As the battle ended, Lisa felt Amy grab her hand. Mama, look. On the computer screen, messages were pouring in from across the galaxy. Human colonies were responding to the broadcast. Military fleets were being dispatched to hunt down Kethara slave operations. News reporters were demanding interviews. But the most important message came from the Human Federation Rescue Command. New Haven Colony. This is Admiral Parker aboard the Federation battleship Liberty. We received your broadcast and we're coming to help. Hold your position. Help is on the way. Lisa collapsed into her chair, suddenly feeling exhausted. It was over. They had won. Amy climbed into her lap and hugged her tightly. We did it, Mama. We beat the bad aliens. Yes, we did, Lisa said, stroking her daughter's hair. And you know what? The other teams are reporting that the terraforming machines are working again. The planet is going to start getting warmer. Through the window, Lisa could see the first sunrise she had seen in months that was not hidden by snow clouds. The storm satellites were now working to break up the artificial winter the aliens had created. 6 months later, New Haven Colony was alive again. The Federation had sent engineers to rebuild everything the aliens had destroyed. New families were arriving to replace the ones that had been lost. Lisa stood in the town square, watching Amy play with other children in the warm sunshine. Her daughter's feet were no longer blue with cold. They were pink and healthy, running through green grass that was growing again. Ben Carter walked up beside her. He was now the colony's official security chief. The War Crimes Tribunal finished reviewing our evidence today, he said. The Cathara Empire is being disbanded. All their slave operations are being shut down. Those 3,000 humans they captured from other colonies are being freed. Lisa nodded. What about Veltar? Captured when his ship crashed, Ben said. He'll spend the rest of his life in a Federation prison. Mary Clark joined them, carrying a tablet with news reports from around the galaxy. The story is still spreading, she said. 12 more Cathara slave operations have been discovered because of our broadcast. Thousands of humans are being rescued. Lisa looked at her friends, then at her daughter playing in the sunshine. Jake would have been proud. His plan had not just saved their colony. It had started a revolution that freed human slaves all across the galaxy. Amy ran up to her with a flower she had picked. This is for you, Mama, for keeping me safe. Lisa took the flower and smiled. She had given one night of her life to save her daughter. In return, she had gotten years of freedom for thousands of people. It had been worth it. It had been worth everything.